get all the facts. I'm gonna take my time with this one and forgive me, you guys, because I'm gonna read an article I found on the root.com, by the way, an article I found, and then you can find the same information on my website, which is melanatedfathers.com, a variation of that article. But it's important that I read this to you guys because this is a really eerie situation, and we need to be aware of what's going on in our community. And this is about the young brother Quawan Charles, if you guys haven't heard, right? A young brother named Quawan Charles was found dead in the Louisiana area. He's a 15-year-old kid. The circumstances surrounding his death is really fishy. So bear with me, family, while I read you this article so we can kind of help each other get to the bottom of what you guys think may have happened, right? So around 3 p.m. on October 30th, Roxanne Nelson, which is Quawan Charles's mother, Roxanne Nelson called her son Quawan and received no answer. Quawan had recently moved in with his father in Baldwin, Louisiana, a tiny town of about 2,500, roughly 39 miles from Roxanne's home in Youngsville, Louisiana. Now, Roxanne was perplexed because Quawan couldn't stop talking about, growing his hair, and he asked his mother to go get him a lineup. So she was calling him at his pop's house so she can go get his hair lined up, right? So she was, she wasn't worried yet, but she was like, why isn't he answering his phone? Now, when she reached out to Quawan's father, Kenneth Jacob, I think his name is, I may be getting that wrong, but Kenneth Jacob, Kenneth checked the door to his son's bedroom when he knocked. When he knocked on the door, he didn't get an answer. But, they figured this is how teenagers are. He's probably asleep. He's probably on his headphones, probably playing the game, something like that, right? Now, Kenny was sure Quawan would reply soon because he wanted that haircut. Now, when his mom called again, nothing happened. After a little convincing, she convinced Kenneth to go to the door. But the door was locked from the inside, right? The door was locked from the inside. By this time, Kenny managed to open the door, and he was ready to go at him because he was like, dude, you in here, you 15, you in here, the door locked, your mom been calling you, I've been coming to the door, right? But there was one problem when they got to the door. When he finally got in the room, Quawan wasn't there. Now, and I'm reading this article because the details of this case are important to know. So follow me. Now, Roxanne, after seeing that the father went to the door, no answer, he finally pried his way into the room, and seeing Quawan wasn't there, Roxanne rushed to Baldwin, the city that the father lived in. On her way to Kenny's house, she flagged down a Baldwin police officer and told them that their teenager had gone missing. And the officers, and this is an important part of the story, the officers kind of brushed her off. They kind of hit her with, maybe he at his friend's house, maybe he at the mall, don't worry about it, right? And the family, all these details are important because the family isn't sure why they were treated the way they were treated. When we're black in America, of course you don't want to say race plays a large part in everything, but race plays a large part in everything. You know what I mean? So you can never take that off the table that racism or just bias or prejudice, whatever, could be at play. So let me continue. Now, so like I said, they brushed her off, told her that he's probably at his friend's house. They didn't take it as serious, right? Now, she continued to tell law enforcement that something was wrong, but according to her, they just kept on giving her, like she said, a collective indifference is how she put it, right? Now, after 3 days of searching, so October 30th is when this initially happened, is when he initially came up missing. After 3 days of searching, one of Quawan's friends mentioned that he last saw the teenager in a car with a white lady and her teenage son. See how this is unraveling? A white lady and her teenage son. Now, they passed this information along to the police department, who at this point was beginning to take the young man's disappearance a little bit more serious, right? Now, the mother of the teenager, which is a white lady, her name is, hold on one second here. Her name is Janet Irving. She's a 37-year-old white lady. Her son, Gavin, is 17-year-old. He's a 17-year-old teenager. So follow me here. So the mother, which is Janet Irving, okay, the mother of the teenager, she admitted that she picked Quawan up to go hang out with her son, but after that, she doesn't know what happened. According to investigators hired by the family, neither Quawan's mom or dad had ever even met the 17-year-old white kid that he actually left with, right? Now, When speaking about Janet Irving and what her demeanor was when she was approached by where the kid is, she was very coy. And this is what the mom is saying. She's very coy regards to what happened with her son after they picked him up. But just, to be fair, the young man didn't tell his father he was leaving neither, right? Now, on November 3rd, police informed the family that they had found Quawan's body in a creek near a wooded area in Baldwin. The family says authorities told them that Quawan had drowned. But, and as you can go on you can go on my website, melanatedfathers.com, and look at the article about this, and you'll see the picture. It's a really gruesome picture that looks as if in their showing this picture alongside Emmett Till's picture, because honestly, y'all, it kind of looks similar. So Kawan's body, where his mouth is, and again, if you want to see the picture, if you want to really, you can go to my website, melanatedfathers.com, or it's probably all over the internet as well, but definitely go to my website to see it, you feel me? But right here on his face where his lips are, it looks like something had bit off something on his lips, right? So follow me. Now, this is another important part of the process, right? Now, the family shared with the Root, which is where I got the article from, the family shared with the Root a recording of an anonymous woman who called Roxanne Nelson, who was Kawan's mom, with information about the mother who allegedly picked up Kawan. And she basically said that the woman who picked him up may have more information that she's leading on, right? Now, the caller claimed that she randomly confronted her son about his unusual behavior, and he revealed that something had been eating him up. Allegedly, and this is allegedly, the white family who picked up Kawan may have been high on mushrooms, and the son reported that the car curiously smelled like bleach. In any case, the son reportedly admitted to being introduced to Kawan on the day he went missing. So think about this, right? This is a young black boy who went out of his house. He didn't tell his mom or his dad. His door was locked from the inside, which means he must have went out the window, and he's leaving with a white boy he just met that same day. Some weird shit, right? That part in itself isn't necessarily adding up. Now, the Baldwin Police Department had passed the case along to the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Department, neither of which answered the Root's request for comment. To be fair, they also haven't answered most of the Charles family's questions either, right? So, for instance, and again, what I'm saying about this article, well, here, let me finish first. For instance, when Selena contacted the media to let them know that they were holding a community vigil for the missing child, the local news didn't even know there was a missing child, right? So it almost seems as if the police departments involved with this case are dragging their feet. And again, this can be a case where this is how they conduct themselves in any situation like this, or it can be a case that this is a young black boy, and we know from everything we've been going through this past year, everything we've been going through since we've been in this country, in a lot of situations, our lives isn't taken as serious as other races of people, and that's a goddamn fact. You feel me? So the important part. Hold on one second here. Okay, and as of right now, I'm not even sure if the police has questioned Janet Irvin, who is the white lady. Now, some articles I've read mention how the lady, Janet Irvin, she lived in a trailer park, maybe like 35, 39 miles away from where the boy lived. There's video of Quawan walking around the sugar field. There's a sugar cane field where he was located. That's like next to the creek that he was found in. So it looks like he left their trailer by himself. This is what the video is saying, that he left their trailer by himself, and hours later he ended up dead, right? In a creek. They say he drowned in a creek, but the creek is like knee-high water, if not lower than that, right? So this is fishy shit, y'all. And here's the thing. So I'm done reading the article. The unfortunate end result of this situation is a 15-year-old boy is dead. The parents don't know why completely. The powers that be are saying that the young man drowned, but he was in like knee-high water, so I'm not sure how he actually drowned. He couldn't swim. Keep that in mind. He couldn't swim. That's an important factor in this situation. But here's the deal, y'all. This is what frustrates me, and I say this a lot, but this is some real shit. I wish I lived in a country where I can see things happen to my people, and I can take the people reporting this to me at face value. But unfortunately, living in America, we can't take this shit at face value. And I'm happy that my people are getting to a point where every time something is fed to us, we take a step back and say, whoa. Like, what is actually going on here? Now, it's also important to note that the family hired, or the family wanted an independent autopsy to be done. They had the independent autopsy done, and that autopsy said that the first autopsy was thorough, and that yes, his cause of death looks to be based on him drowning, right? So that looks to be correct. However, we always got to keep our eyes open, family. We've been through too many situations in this country where we believe something at face value just to find out years later that there was some foul play involved. And I personally believed if we had a young white girl or a young white boy who was dead, I think they would be turning Louisiana over trying to find what actually happened to this kid. The Janet Irvin lady, if this was a black woman or a black man who went to pick up a white kid and 2 days later the white kid is found dead, everybody in that black family is getting locked up just so they can see what the fuck happened. That's my opinion. I can be wrong, but that's my opinion. So this is a extremely unfortunate situation. Everybody pray for Quawan's family to find your son in this manner, to be in a situation where you have all these questions that hasn't been answered yet. These are small towns in Louisiana, so I'm sure there's a racist faction to these cities. I didn't look up these two police departments and how they have been conducting themselves in the past. But in my opinion, small towns in any part of the United States where it's 2,500 people, 3,000 people, and all the people are primarily white, you're probably going to have small bits of racism here and there. So in this situation, y'all, we haven't found out yet. So has it been proven yet that there was some foul play? Or has it been proven that this young man was murdered or someone was involved in his murder? No. To be fair, right? Because we don't want to report any false news or anything like that. So to be fair, that hasn't been the case yet. But in my personal opinion, family, I think it's going to come to light that something happened to this little boy. Because it doesn't make sense for you to walk. He's walking into a sugar field. If you are at a friend's house, why are you leaving by yourself to go into a sugar field or by a creek? And people that they've interviewed have said that the part of the creek he was in, people don't even go over there. Like, it ain't even no reason to go over there. So why was he over there? You know what I mean? But I'm happy that this family, and this has been happening a lot lately, when families go through police brutality, when families go through situations like this, now they are quick to say, hey, wait a minute, what happened? Let me do my due diligence. Let me call the news. Let me call different civil rights attorneys and activists in the area, because there are activists in that area that are helping the family. They called a few of them to help them out, try to sort this thing out, right? So family, living in America, being black in America is a hard goddamn job, man. And that's why I bring some of these stories to the family, not to scare anybody or to create an environment where we hate people outside of our community. Hate ain't gonna get us where we need to go, but awareness will. Being aware of what the fuck is going on around you, being aware of what your kids is doing. Like, kids sneak out of the house all the time, right? Like, that's not no new shit. But in my opinion, like when the father went to that door initially and the door was locked, my personal parenting style, a 15-year-old ain't locking the door. Nah, you gotta be goddamn 19, 20, 21, even older to be in my house and lock the goddamn door. If you don't pay a bill, you ain't locking that goddamn door. You know what I mean? So I'm not coming at the father, but in my opinion, that's a mishap. You know what I mean? And the police in this situation, as soon as she told the police, because at first, y'all, I thought that when a child goes missing, you have to wait 24 hours before you can report him missing. I found some articles that disputes that wholeheartedly. They say you should report it as soon as possible, because just like we've seen with the first 48 hours when it comes to a crime, when it comes to a missing person, that time is critical in actually getting the information you need to see if you can actually find the person, right? So prayers up for this family. Hopefully they can get to the bottom of this situation. Hopefully there wasn't anything nefarious. You know what I mean? I would hate for them to have to deal with the loss of the son, then come to find out somebody white killed them or some old weird shit happened. You know what I mean? But I hope that the family gets closure so they can find out exactly what happened to their son. So prayer to the Charles family, man. I'm so distraught by this story. Like, damn, because I can only imagine having 5 boys myself. I can only imagine going through a situation like this but not being sure about what happened. But I'm happy that the parents and the different members of their family are standing up like, wait a minute, something happened to our family member. This is a baby in our community, y'all. So all of us should care about this shit. All of us should be aware of when stories like this happen, just so we can put a tighter knit on our kids, just so we can even share stuff like this with our kids. Like, hey, don't go nowhere with somebody I don't know. And I don't know if these are things they've discussed with him prior, but don't go nowhere with somebody I don't know. Don't put yourself in a position where you're around people that we don't know or around people that could possibly do you harm, because we gotta keep it real. If he would have went to his dad and asked, can he go? The dad says yes. Now he understands where he is. Now he can get an idea of where he needs to go to pick him up, right? So that's the first news story for today, man. Hopefully that family gets resolved, but we can never take racism and white supremacy off the table, family. Never. So let's go. Next story, all right? Next story. Damn, man, that hurts my heart to see that happen to that young man like that. All right. Next story I want to talk about. So this is